Folks, if you have not heard this, make sure you're sitting down. Let me know where you're tuning in from, city and state. If you're tuning in from outside this great nation, what's left of it, let us know. Region, province, country, however you want to identify where you live. So, Joy Behar on The View, which I didn't even know The View was still on TV. But anyway, Joy Behar, one of the many women on the panel of The View, recently made a comment on the show, not like secretly, behind closed doors or, hot mic off stage. No. On the show, in front of two black women, said, once black people own guns, the gun laws will change. Now, a lot of people had some question around what she meant by it. The conversation was around why gun laws were not changing and why they were not maybe stricter in some circumstances or in some situations. And her response was that essentially the gun laws aren't strict because it's white people that own guns. And she said she was implying that once black people start owning guns, then they're going to crack down on black people because they don't want black people owning guns. And that's when the gun laws will change and get stricter, only when black people own guns. So what Joy Behar doesn't seem to understand is the sheer number of black people that own guns in America. So I don't know if she's stuck living in a world decades ago where people of color were, drinking from different water fountains and not allowed in certain buildings and not allowed to do this and not allowed to go that. Joy Behar must still be stuck in that America, because she is literally saying black people don't own guns. When they do own guns, the politicians in this racist country will change the laws to come down on the head of black people so they can't own guns. And they'll make the gun laws stricter, which might be the most mental thing I've ever heard. I've heard a lot of crazy things over these last couple of years. You have too. But to say that on TV, no less, to imply that right now black people are not allowed to own guns and don't own guns, might be one of the craziest things I've ever heard on a television show. I don't know how the producers of this show even allow language like this from someone on the show. And everyone knows that these women on the show are extreme. We get that. However, this woman, it would almost be as if she said the voting laws will change once black people are allowed to vote. She might as well have said that. She literally was implying we're living in a world where people with black skin are not allowed to own guns. And when that world changes and they're allowed to own guns, then the gun laws will get stricter. The hand of law will come down on the black man. There are literally Facebook groups of black gun owners. A very good friend of mine has a whole training platform and training course and program he's put together. He's a black police officer in Houston, and he has committed his life to training, and his classes are packed with black people, black men and tons of black women who are coming to his course to learn how to shoot, to learn how to protect themselves. self-defense, personal defense. There are so many prominent black shooters in shooting sports now even. And there are so many prominent black gun owners across the entire country that are vocal advocates for the Second Amendment. And some are not crazy Second Amendment, Constitution 2A people. Some are just, hey, I like shooting guns. I like owning a gun. I live in a dangerous place. I want to have a gun to protect myself and my family. Now, on the flip side of it, a lot of people have been saying Joy Behar apparently has never been to Chicago. Now, I'm not going to get into that aspect of the conversation because we all know that what's going on in cities like Chicago and New York and LA and San Francisco and the gun violence and the alarming number of black people that are dying, that are being killed, and black lives that are being lost in these cities. We know that the majority, let me say the overwhelming majority, it may even be higher than overwhelming majority, but the people who are committing these crimes and these shootings and these murders and all this stuff, these black people who are doing it, they're not legal gun owners. They're obtaining these guns illegally to go commit these crimes, right? They're not going to a gun shop with their license and doing a background check. No, they're gangbangers, they're thugs, they're hoodlums, right? They're buying the guns on the street and going and committing crimes. They're illegally buying illegal guns and going and committing felonies. So a lot of people were like, oh, I should not. Okay, listen, we're going to completely take that out. Let's not talk about the illegal black gun owners, because a lot of people were trying to shift the conversation that way. Let's keep it within the realm of reality and talk about the legal, law-abiding black gun owners in this country. The millions of them. The millions and millions of them. Back in 2017, Pew Research did a study. And at that time, 25% of black folks said they own a weapon. Those numbers have increased drastically. There was another research report done in 2021, I believe, where those numbers were quite higher, but I don't want to quote that study. However, there are many prominent people of color that are now actually creating movements to change the way black Americans and guns are viewed. And these are people who are members of the NRA, they're members of shooting organizations, shooting clubs, they're training in and doing teaching in firearms. These are people who are dedicating their lives to changing the view of what most people or many people think of when they think of black people and guns, right? Which is, committing crimes in Chicago and, murders and all this stuff. And there are people, I'm going to link to an article after this video, I'm going to have the team loop it in. But Joy Behar apparently doesn't believe that any of these people exist. These black people that are starting good movements for a good cause, that are changing the landscape of the black gun ownership experience. But Joy Behar says black people don't own guns. They're not allowed to. And when they're allowed to, only then will the gun laws change. Folks, this is what they are intentionally putting on TV for you to hear. People by the way, like I said, she had two black women on the panel, and both of their faces, I'm going to have the team loop in the clip here. I'm going to try to put it at the beginning, and I'm going to try to put it at the end and make sure they get that in twice. And with those words, literally sent shockwaves across the internet. I really don't know what to say. I don't know how to explain. I don't know whether to get angry angry. I don't know whether to just feel bad for her. She's clearly mentally off. Something's off there. For her to say that out loud, something is off. Maybe she didn't realize she was on the show. I don't know. But someone needs to let Joy Behar know that black people are allowed to own guns. Black people are allowed to use the same water fountain as white folks. They're allowed to go to school with white folks. They're allowed to vote. They know how to read books. They have educations. All of that. Joy Behar apparently thinks none of that exists right now. And it's disgusting. It's embarrassing. It truly is embarrassing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like this video, share this video. Be careful sharing it because people might not even realize what they're about to hear. But I feel like, of course, like with most things that happen in certain domains, not a lot of media coverage of her saying that. Now, we know that if someone else said that, and they were in a certain category, or maybe they used to have a job where they resided at Pennsylvania Avenue, it would be global news. Actually, they'd be reporting it to the aliens on other planets. However, since Joy Behar said it on The View, it's like, ooh, let's push that down. Let's not let anyone hear that. Unbelievable. Actually, at this point, I'm pretty sure that the president could say that and no one would find out about it. But that's another story. Listen, there's a skin disease thing going around. Monkeypox and skin-to-skin contact, stuff like that. So make sure you triple mask. It's not airborne, but make sure you triple mask up. 4 masks may help prevent this skin-to-skin contact thing, but just do 5. Just do 5, just to play it safe. The 5 masks would be better than no masks. It's not an airborne thing, but never know. All right, folks. It's getting weird out there.